Have you ever noticed something strange? Some people spend years searching for love, swiping, texting, praying, waiting, and yet somehow love always seems to slip through their fingers. Meanwhile, other people seem to find healthy relationships almost effortlessly. Why? Is it luck, attractiveness, timing, or is there something deeper happening beneath the surface? Because here's a truth most people don't want to hear. Love isn't failing you. Something else is. And until you fix it, love will never work for you. Stay with me, because the answer may change the way you see relationships forever. Meet Anna, 32 years old, a pediatric nurse who spent her days caring for children and their terrified parents, someone wired from the inside out to put others first. In her off hours, she was the friend who remembered your birthday, checked in after your hard week, and always showed up. Funny, warm, the kind of woman people describe as the whole package. But there was one thing nobody knew. Every night after a shift, she'd drive home and check her phone before she even took off her scrubs. Not for work messages, for him. Whoever him was at the time. And every relationship in her life ended the same way. At first, everything felt magical. Late-night conversations, good morning texts, shared dreams about the future. And then, slowly, something changed. Texts became shorter. Conversations became harder. Distance appeared where intimacy once lived. Eventually, another breakup. Another night crying into a pillow. Another painful question. Why does this keep happening to me? Sound familiar? Maybe you're Anna. Or maybe you've met someone like her. Because millions of people are trapped in this exact cycle. But the reason isn't what most people think. And what happened next in Anna's story revealed a truth most relationship experts rarely talk about. One evening after another breakup, Anna sat across from an older colleague, a man who had been married for over 30 years to the same woman. She expected the usual advice. Put yourself out there. Find better people. Love yourself more. Instead, he looked at her and asked one simple question. Who are you trying to get love from? Anna laughed. From a partner, obviously. He shook his head slowly. No. Who are you trying to get permission from? That question hit harder than she expected, because suddenly, memories came rushing back. Her childhood, always trying to be perfect, always earning approval, always afraid of disappointing others. And for the first time, she realized something terrifying. She wasn't looking for love. She was looking for validation. And that's when everything changed. Here's the psychological truth nobody tells you. Many people don't enter relationships to share love. They enter relationships to receive worth. Read that again. Because it's one of the biggest reasons relationships fail. When your partner becomes responsible for your self-worth, love quietly transforms into pressure. You don't just want affection. You need it. You don't just enjoy attention. You depend on it. And dependence creates fear. Fear creates control. Control destroys intimacy. I know that might sound abstract, so let me make it personal. Have you ever refreshed your messages 10 times in a minute? Rehearsed arguments in your head that never actually happened? Apologized for things that weren't your fault, just to keep the peace? That's not love. That's survival. This is why people panic when texts go unanswered. Why they overthink tiny changes in someone's tone. Why they lose themselves trying to keep someone from leaving. The relationship becomes less about connection and more about survival. But here's where it gets even deeper. Because what Anna discovered next was even more uncomfortable. After months of reflection, Anna noticed something she couldn't unsee. Every person she had dated looked completely different. Different personalities, different careers, different lifestyles, But somehow, the pain always felt identical. Different faces, same ending. That's when she learned a powerful truth. You don't attract what you want. You often attract what feels familiar. And familiar isn't always healthy. Sometimes familiar feels like inconsistency. Sometimes familiar feels like emotional distance. Sometimes familiar feels like having to earn love. Because our hearts often chase what our nervous systems recognize, not what actually makes us happy. Let that sink in. How many people have mistaken emotional chaos for chemistry? How many have confused anxiety with passion? How many relationships felt exciting simply because they felt uncertain? This changes everything. Because maybe your problem isn't that nobody loves you. Maybe your definition of love was shaped by old wounds you never even realized were there. And if that's true, what should you actually do? The answer may surprise you. One day, Anna stopped dating, not forever, just long enough to ask herself difficult questions. Who am I when nobody is choosing me? What do I tolerate because I'm afraid to be alone? Why does rejection feel like losing my entire identity? Those questions hurt, but healing often does. Slowly, she built a life that felt full even without a relationship. She invested in friendships, hobbies, purpose, peace. And something unexpected happened. Her desperation disappeared. The pressure vanished. She no longer needed someone to complete her. She wanted someone to complement her. And that changed everything. Because healthy love isn't two half-broken people trying to fix each other. It's two whole people choosing each other, over and over again. Now here's the this from the title. Love will never work for you until you stop using it to fill a hole inside yourself. Because no partner, not the perfect one, not the soulmate, not the love of your life, can permanently heal wounds that only self-awareness can address. Real love doesn't save you. Real love meets you where you've already started saving yourself. And the moment you stop asking who will complete me and start asking who can grow with me, everything changes. The people you choose change. The boundaries you set change. The love you experience changes. And maybe your entire future changes too. Years later, Anna met someone different. The relationship wasn't dramatic. No games. No emotional roller coaster. No constant checking of her phone. At first it felt strange, almost boring. She told me she knew it was different on their third date. Not because of fireworks, but because she drove home afterward and realized she hadn't checked her phone once all evening. She hadn't been performing. She hadn't been calculating what to say next or bracing for something to go wrong. She had just been present. And that feeling was so unfamiliar, so quietly extraordinary, that she actually pulled over on the side of the road and cried. Not from sadness, from relief. Because peace had once felt unfamiliar to her. Because chaos had felt like home. And maybe that's true for more people than we'd like to admit. Because sometimes the hardest part of finding healthy love is recognizing it when it finally arrives. So let me ask you, have you ever been searching for love when what you truly needed was healing? What do you think destroys relationships more? Lack of love or lack of self-worth? Share your thoughts in the comments. Because someone reading your story might realize they are not alone. And if this video made you see relationships differently, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because sometimes one insight can change an entire love story. This is Relationship Lab Files, where we don't just talk about love, we decode it. And remember, love isn't something you find. It's something you're finally ready to receive. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.